let's talk to Reuben Frank. What a spectacular job he does for NBC Sports Philadelphia and for us here at WIP, of course, covering the Eagles. He's seen a lot of twists and turns with the Birds. This is yet another one. You think you got Vic Fangio, then you might not, then you might, then you still might not. Reuben, good morning, pal.
How you guys doing?
Rube.
All right, Reuben.
Can you please tell me that Vic Fangio is going to coach the Eagles in 2026?
Well, I wish I could state that unequivocally, but yeah, I think every year he kind of takes some time to think about it, and I guess we're in that stage. I know it's hard to imagine that they would let Christian Parker go before getting a definitive answer from Vic. So I'm not sure exactly where we are with that. I mean, he was the heir apparent for Vic, so I think if there was any, but again, you can't tell Vic you got to make a decision now because this guy might be leaving. So it's a tricky situation. I know that they better have him back because
is there a backup?
Well, Rube, do you think it's as simple as older guy, not 80-year-old old, but like 67-year-old guy who just wants to retire, or there's more beneath the surface, frustrations, aggravations, disharmony, a lot of nonsense that leads to him to say, what am I doing here?
Well, I think if you had to coach Keely Ringo, you might want to retire too. So there's that. But no, I mean, he kind of runs his own fiefdom over there. The defense is kind of separate from Nick and from Jalen and from Kevin Patullo and all that. So I don't think there's any of that. I think he really loves it here. He loves going over the Palladium and he's been here. I mean, he was here with the Stars for crying out loud in the 80s. He loves it here. Yeah. He's from the area. So, from my conversations with him, he's super happy here. It's just every year he's gonna think about it, and that's where we are.
What does this feel like to you? Does this feel like Vic is making a move for a new contract, or does this feel like it really is as simple as he could leave because he's at that point in his life?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he doesn't have to worry about his contract. I mean, they're going to take care of Vic Fangio. I think that's a given. I mean, he's been doing this for 40 years, and I think anybody who does the same thing for 40 years, I can attest to the fact that you think about how long do you want to do this. So, yeah, I think that's what we're seeing, and I still think he's more likely to stay than go.
Well, Reuben, I will say this to the way you answered the contract question, because my instincts are that's not the heart of it, but I will say this: what you just said, they're going to take care of him. Like they might not if you didn't say, "Well, I'm out." I mean, sometimes you have to threaten to get. So it is possible that it's about the contract, because if I don't speak up and say, "Hey guys, I'm going to retire," then I don't get that extra $1 million or $3 or $5. It could be that.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, anything's possible. I think that one thing about Jeff Lurie, he's always paid his assistant coaches like really fair market value. I don't know Vic's contract status. I don't know how long he signed for or any of the details, but my gut feeling is it's not that, and he's just trying to figure out if he wants to keep doing this.
Wow. So, I mean, how concerned are you? What's your ballpark figure, percentage chance that Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles in 2026, Rube?
You want a number from me?
Yeah. Is this a 50-50? Might as well just flip a coin, or?
I mean, that's the cop-out answer, right? 50-50 on anything. You can't be far off. I think it's higher than 50-50, though. I think it's probably in the high 60s to 70s, low 70s.
Still not great. I mean, Reuben, the fact that they haven't come out and said, "Hey, stop the presses. He's our defensive coordinator." That's a concern.
Is there even another Christian Parker out the door? Is there another? I don't know, like second in line to
Casper is the guy I think people talk about. Joe Casper.
It would be
Casper,
Clint Hurt,
the safeties coach. Yeah, I think it would be Clint Hurt.
Yeah.
And then you have a guy like Sean McDermott out there, who's a Philly guy, Springfield Township.
Right.
Who he said he wants to sit out the year, but he's He's coached here before. He liked it here the first time up until the end. You don't want to get replaced by Juan Castillo, but there's options. But obviously, there's nobody like Vic. Nobody.
Could they go to Jim Schwartz with a 4-3 style defense, or is that off the table because the personnel doesn't fit anymore?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to give up something to the Browns. You'd probably have to give the Browns a draft pick just because he's under contract with them. Unless I don't think they would just release him, just with no compensation. I mean, he's their property. So That's a tricky situation. I think Jim can make it work. Jim's a hell of a coach. He can make it work with any personnel. Mm-hmm. I believe what he did with the Browns. I mean, to go in there and have the top defense, over the last couple of years with Cleveland is impressive. I like Jim. He did a hell of a job here in 2017. So I think you could make it work with him. I think he'd probably be the next best option if you could make some sort of deal with the Browns.
He does typically run a 4-3 though, wide 9, and that's bye Nakobe. I don't even know where you even put Jihad Campbell in that.
He can run an even front, an odd front. He can do what needs done.
I don't know.
Depending on it, all the defenses have been adjusting to what the offenses are doing. I know that.
But Reuben, when you go to different style of coaches, sometimes it takes you 2 years to really blend the coach and the personnel to get it right. That's not an easy process.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would take 2 years to make that transition, and I don't think Nakobe's going to be here anyway. Just because of the I think he's got too much value and elsewhere.
That's a major loss.
I agree.
On the other side of the football, we haven't talked offense at all. How do you feel about what feels like almost a 2-for-1 on the offensive coordinator decision with both Mannion and Grizzard? I guess is the way we're pronouncing it.
I like Mannion, actually. I thought that was a good hire. I thought out of all the remaining candidates, he was by far the best one. Did a lot of reading on him and a lot of studying, and I think they got a guy who's got some great ideas. My fear was that they were going to go like just recycle somebody like a Kafka or I just wanted
Nagy.
Fresh ideas. A young guy, Nagy, would be in that category.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob. I mean, but I was excited to go in a press conference and say, "Hey, Jim Bob."
Yeah, I'll bet
about that third down. But I like Mannion. I like his. I just like new ideas. That's what they need. They need energy. They need youth. They need this whole thing invigorated because I still think there's talent here, and I think this can be a good offense.
Yeah, I like the idea of bringing in two young minds and letting them just sort of bounce off each other. I'm excited about seeing what it looks like.
I mean, after what we just watched for the last year, how can you not be excited about some new ideas?
Change, period.
It was brutal.
The other day I was wondering, like, Leroy, you never hear it Roy Lee the other way. I think Jim Bob might be the same way. You don't ever hear Bob Jim.
No.
You hear Jim Bob occasionally, but I've never known a Bob Jim. Reuben, have you ever known a Bob Jim?
I've known two.
No,
I've never known a Bob Jim, but I don't think I've known a whole lot of Jim Bobs either, but I was looking forward to it. But
I guess you're right.
The last thing they needed was like another guy off that Colts, tree.
Yeah.
And I mean, Shane Steichen came from there, so he was really good at it, but I just think they needed to go in a different direction, something new.
Truly, this is new.
Well, I'll say this, Rube, to round it out, my man. They better keep Fangio.
I'm with you.
I mean, he's really important. I'll just say that. He's really important.
He's the heart of this team.
Wow. That's a big statement. And you know what? You're probably right. He's probably the heart of the team. Reuben, stay well. Always great having you on the program. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, Reuben.
Anytime, guys.
All right, bud. That's an interesting statement, James.
Think
the
about
heart
it this
of the
way.
team.
That what I was thinking when he said that is if, like, this offseason, any person associated with the Eagles says, I'm retiring, is like Howie the only person we would be more upset with than Vic?
Yes.
Right?
Well, it's either Vic or Lane. Vic or Lane.
Lane, that would suck, but like we all, it's unexpected. It's going to happen. It wasn't in play much this year. Like the Vic thing just...
Who?
Stoutland, but the Vic thing it's because and he's old and I get it, but it feels like you could do it. You're there, So yeah, I think it would be a disaster both for the team, but also just for a fan base that has had a tough offseason, off a tough year to begin with. Yep. Like I think it would really bring them down.
I hear you.